So apparently, that is Senator John Fetterman says that to oppose Donald Trump is to oppose America. Do you agree with this thing? That is to oppose Donald Trump is to oppose America, but I don't think that is not the way it should be. Trump, really, we must Trump-proof America. There is no way that you can't tell me that to oppose Trump is to oppose America. And I think really that Americans made a choice in November that is between the political stability of Kamala Harris and the erratic nature of Donald Trump. So it appears that Americans decided that basically maybe the erratic nature of Donald Trump was they chose that the erratic nature of Donald Trump. So they say that Trump is going to bring a better economy, and so they say Kamala Harris will continue with the disastrous policies of Joe Biden. So they say that basically President Biden was responsible for inflation. Remember when an American that is when they attribute wage increases as a result of their own effort, but then they attribute that is inflation as a failure by the president. So that is what got Biden punished, and I don't think it should be any other way around. So that is then Senator John Fetterman saying that basically Donald Trump, if you oppose Donald Trump, then you are opposing America. So I think he is becoming like Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin is the conservative Democrat, and I think this notion of he feels that basically Pennsylvania, Trump carried Pennsylvania, so he should have the same views as apparently Donald Trump. Just because Donald Trump carried Pennsylvania, of course, everyone had thought the election was going to be down to the wire on Pennsylvania, but of course, then Donald Trump walked away with all the Trump proofing America, and that entails many things. To survive this 4 years is about going to Trump proof America. So I think that's misguided on the part of John Fetterman, and I don't think if you oppose Trump, that then you are opposing America. So that's it for now. That Africa perspectives, a lot of African incumbent governments have failed. A lot of African incumbent governments have failed. You look at Botswana, the sixth-year ruling party, BDP, was voted out of power, so they came with a new president, umbrella of opposition parties. And Duma Boko was elected as the president of Botswana. So that's a ruling party that went down. Then you have in South Africa another ruling party, and that is the ANC, just got only 40% of the vote. Only 40%, that is the ANC, only got 40% of the vote. So it had to form a coalition government with an apartheid era party, that is the DA. So that is something that basically we must explore. That is why are incumbent governments in Africa. You have in Ghana the incumbent president, that is you have in Ghana and the incumbent president, the ruling party candidate, Baumia, basically was beaten by former President John Mahama. So that's remaking, and that's Africa perspective. So I'm asking, why is it that incumbent governments in Africa are failing? I think we are just kicking the can of development down the road. Where is the African that basically says that is if you that where is the African leader that are not attracted by the trappings of power? So basically, they say African leaders are rulers. They are not really leaders. They are rulers. They are attracted by the trappings of power, and then of course that is they are attracted by the trappings of power. So they are not the efficient Persian governor that utilizes resources optimally, so that everyone can reutilizes resources optimally so that everyone can prosper. And then in ideas, I'm asking, can a company have the resources of a multinational and yet have the speed and agility of a startup? That is, can a company have the resources of a multinational but yet have the speed and agility of a startup? So you had Nokia and Motorola, they were the market leaders in feature phones, but they never transitioned to be the market leader in smartphones. That was taken out by Nokia's and the likes of Samsung and Apple. Then, of course, you had IBM being the leader of the personal computer market. never transitioned to be the market leader of that is personal computing software that was taken up by Microsoft. And Microsoft itself is the largest computing personal computing software in the world, but it never transitioned to be the leader of the internet age. That was taken up by the likes of Google search, basically. Then Google itself was the market leader of search, but it failed to transition to be the market leader of social media. So it had to kill its own product, that is Google Plus. And then of course you have basically you have Microsoft that is being that is not transitioning to be the leader of that is Google not transitioning to be the market leader of social media that was taken up by the likes of Facebook, X, and of course then there will come see the augmented reality, basically where a person across the screen will seem as though they are in the same room as you. So that is basically that is how you get to have a company not transitioning to the other, being a big player in the other industry, emerging industry. And of course, for business leader, for economy, they say this is great. Capitalism is all about they are assigning resources. If a small nimble startup can beat an incumbent player, then basically we don't that is basically the role of capitalism. But then, of course, for business leaders, they'll be worried. Despite having hundreds of billions of dollars in cash reserves, that does not assure you of a market again. So that's it for now. Bye for now.